All right, good evening, friends. Russell here. Just wanted to kind of give you a quick update or a quick show of what we're doing here on the workbench. Picked up this Uniden Grant XL off of eBay about a week ago. I kind of like the older style, the '80s style with the chrome face and everything. I think it'll look pretty well in the CJ7 we're doing the restoration on. Anyway, got it hooked up on the bench, and typical eBay fashion, it sold its parts not working, whatever. They said the speaker didn't work, but they said it sounded great, and it had this, it keys 7 watts and swings to 15 and all this, and I'm like, I don't want that. I want pretty much a stock radio. So hooked it up to the meter. Sure enough, it was dead keying 7 watts, swinging to like 20. Modulation was all over the place, off the charts. So somebody got in here with a golden screwdriver and turned this thing into a splatter box. So opened it up, start looking around, and the first thing I was looking at was modulation. So, and I'm gonna pull out my notes here because obviously it was a modulation problem. So the modulation on this board is controlled by VR7. So we go through the mod procedure, get our golden screwdriver out, and start trying to adjust modulation, and nothing's making a difference. So immediately I knew something's been snipped, something's been removed, something's been jumpered on the back. And of course we flip the radio over and take a look, and nothing had been jumpered. I mean, these are factory jumpers, so it hadn't been butchered. So what's going on? And I didn't see it at first, but we'll get there. So we go through the procedure, right? So you have to check VR7. VR7's right here. It's located right past this large capacitor next to the choke. So you got the VR7, and then you got to make sure that resistors 131 and 165 are not clipped. And resistor 165, I need to put my cheaters on. Resistor 165 is that one right there. And resistor 131 is buried down. Oh, I'm done lost it. There it is, right there. All right. So they weren't clipped, they're intact. So the next thing you got to check is that transistors 24, 25, and 26 are all in place. So 26 is here, 25 is right there, and 24 is right there. But 24 wasn't there. So transistor 24 had been removed, which completely negates the whole modulation protection circuit, and the thing was splattered all over the place. So how do we fix it? Well, we dig into the garbage can and we pull out a bricked Uniden Uniden Grant XL. It's bricked. This radio's done. Somebody's been in here, hacked wires, and it's not worth my time to mess with. But it had the transistor in it. The modulation circuit in this radio had not been messed with. So it was just a simple matter of find a transistor, find a trace, desolder it, get it out, clean it up. Not throwing that away because I might need more stuff out of it. And then we soldered it in. Of course, it's right there. T24. Or actually, in this model board, they call it a Q, but it's a transistor, T24. And, the solder joint on the back. You can see the shiny new solder, 1, 2, 3 for that transistor. And that little fiber cap was part of the original board layout. So we'll be back in a moment. We've already adjusted it. Obviously, we adjusted modulation with VR7. AM power is adjusted on VR10, which is right over here. Let me get the magic pointer in red. VR10 is right there. That adjusts your AM carrier. VR11 up here adjusts your sideband mode. And according to the alignment procedures, which I've printed out, that's supposed to be done. Now, those are all supposed to be done at the end of alignment. I don't have an oscilloscope, so I can't do a full-blown alignment, but I can get the voltages right, and we'll kind of test it and see how it sounds on the air. So I'll be back in a moment. We're going to put the covers back on it. Of course, I did wire in a new speaker because they said it didn't work and it didn't. So we're going to cover it all back up. We'll hook the antenna up, power supply it, and I'll show you what it's doing on the watt meter, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, so we got it all back together now. I haven't finished putting the screws in because I'm gonna change this meter out. Like I said, I've managed to pick up a couple bricked radios, and I got two much nicer looking meters that aren't all faded out. So I'm gonna swap that meter out once I'm done showing y'all this. No big deal, but you'll be able to see that, you know, we have managed to get the radio back in functioning. Now, when I check AM carrier, I do it per the factory's alignment procedure. And when you're supposed to check your AM carrier, you're supposed to do it with the light gain turned down. But anyway, so first thing I'm going to do, we're going to turn it on. And we got power. Let's just see if we can pick anything up here. Now I've got my antenna hooked up through the dosimeter. I mean, it's cheap. I don't have expensive bird equipment, but hey, it gives me kind of gives me an idea of what I'm looking at. And then out the dosi into a 100 watt dummy load. So more than enough dummy load for anything I'm going to do. I don't have any big kicker boxes, so that's not a big deal. So anyway, so let's just check AM carrier real quick and turn the mic gain to minimum. We'll come up to channel 19. Bright, high, CBA, and avail. Volume's all the way up, squelch is all the way down. RF gain's up. Cal centered, SWF. We're on AM, clarifier center, channel 19. Okay, so if you look at meter over here, all right, we're gonna check the RMS. I got it on a 20 watt scale, which is that top line right there. We're gonna come up probably around 4.5, 5 is I think what I set it at. So just short of 5 watts, dead carrier, all right? Now, is that legal? No. Is anybody gonna give a shit? No. This is going in my Jeep Cherokee with a little 3-foot antenna. I don't think I'm gonna mess with anybody. So, that's dead watt carrier. Now let's see what we're gonna swing. All right, now I'm gonna actually pull up a test tone because it's the right way to do it. I mean, we can whistle all day long. All right, so I pulled up a 1000 hertz sine wave test tone on my phone. It's a 10-hour long test tone, so I could run that for a long time. So let's bring the mic gain all the way up. Okay, so we've got our 5 watt dead carrier. Oh, peak. So we're peaking 11 watts AM. Now I'm sure it'll peak more than that. Audio, test, check, audio. So 10, 11 watt peak on AM. That's pretty good. We're not gonna burn anything out doing that. So now let's check our modulation on AM. Mic gain's all the way up. We're on AM, clarifier center, channel 19. Flip this over to mod. We go to set. Key the mic. Oh, turn it down first. Key the mic. Bring it up. Just like just checking your SWR. You got to set the mod. So everybody quiet. All right, we're set. Flip the mod. Just over 100%. And I'm holding it. Now you're supposed to be 1000 hertz at like 100 millivolts or whatever. So I'm probably holding the mic a little close. I can back it off and you see it changes pretty rapidly. So we'll pause it. Check, audio. So yeah, we're under 100% modulation. So it's gonna be a clean, clear radio to listen to. Now let's check our sideband. So we'll come back over to 20 again. Check sideband on peak. Flip it over to sideband. Mic gain's all the way up. Channel 19, upper sideband. Audio tone. 15 watts on sideband. So overall, I think this should be a good, decent transmitting little radio. I think it'll work well on the trail in the Jeep. You know, put a bigger antenna on it. I might be able to pick up some skip. Well, when I first hooked this thing up earlier, rolled on to channel 6. We were picking up a little bit of garble off the Super Bowl, and I don't even have an antenna hooked up. So, and I was hearing some stuff on channel 11 earlier. Probably a truck driver going down the road, but. And yeah, so no, there's nothing coming out right now. At least I'm not going to pick it up. I don't know if y'all can hear that. All I did was grab the dummy load. So this thing will definitely pick up signal. So I'm happy with it. Of course, we're going to get it installed in the Jeep over the next couple days. I'm still waiting on some parts to come in for that. And we'll test it out there. See you later. Have a nice night.